Alrighty, finally back out here working on this 48 Ford F4. I'm finally making some headway on getting this 7.3 IDI final mocked up into this engine compartment. I'm having to make some custom motor mount blocks just to get enough clearance from the oil pan to the cross member. Looks like everything will work out good back here. Obviously this mount will slide, it's not bolted or anything. It'll slide forward. That's about where the transmission will sit. This is a 09 F350 cab and chassis, 4-wheel drive dually, and it's going to get this 48 Ford cab put on it. And the only thing that's really been holding me up the last couple months is getting these motor mounts made for it. I did just order new anchor motor mounts for this 7.3, and then like I said, since everything's so different on this cross member here from the 09, I'm just having to just weld these adapters. Like I said, I needed more oil pan clearance, and then the angle of the motor mounts was so drastically different. That's why these boxes I'm making kind of have a wedge shape to them to get the I didn't want to stress the rubber of the factory mount and have it fail prematurely. So that 7.3 mount is sitting the way it should, and then like I said, I just kind of measured out the angle difference, and the only thing I have left now that I have it sitting in here, everything's lined up, I'm happy with where everything's at. I'm going to crawl underneath and I'm going to mark out where the bolt holes will come through the cross member, and then I'll drill those out and I'll put bolts in, and then I'll weld the heads of the bolts inside this bracket. That way there's just a stud coming through the bottom, and then I will finish weld everything. I just got it all, this mount's all just tacked up, making sure it's going to work, making sure the angles are right. Now that I know it is, I'll cut those tacks off, solid weld the inside, outside. Like I said, weld in those bolts so they're essentially just studs, and then that way when I go to finish bolt this thing in here, everything's going to be bolted to the motor. It's just going to drop through the holes in the K member here, cross member, and then I'll just put nuts on the bottom, torque them down, and it's set. And then once the motor is finished bolted, I'll slide that cross member back. I do have a new transmission mount also. This is a ZF 5-speed. And once this is all bolted in, I do have a turbo kit off of a factory IDI turbo. I will mount up all the turbo components. Turbo will sit, in this vicinity here. Once the whole turbo setup's on it, then I will throw that cab up on the lift and get making body mounts. And then once that's mounted up, we'll be well on our way.